So I was all right. I've not got a single hair on my chest. It's just a family thing. We're not particularly.
That's the opener.
Is that okay?
Are you just been pointing?
Just that line, no explanation. So whenever you're ready.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the latest Kate and Assad Do Business vlog. This week I've come up with a title, Football Bloody Hell. Now for those of you who are football fans, unlike Kate, some of you may know that Football Bloody Hell is a phrase coined by Sir Alex Ferguson after his team kind of came back from the dead and won a game, and he's been interviewed and he said, Football Bloody Hell. That's where it came from.
Okay.
But what I want to talk about in this vlog is what I believe to be the similarities between running a successful football team, football club, and running a successful business. So I do think there are a lot of similarities, a lot of synergies between the two. Okay, so
Tempted to say at that point, as long as you're not going to ask me for my views. But
no, I will ask you
I
for
don't know
your
the first
views.
thing about it.
I think football is the example I'm using, obviously as a keen football follower. But I think any sport you could use, but with football being a team sport, I think it's a little bit more relevant for me. So let's start with the structure. Structure of a football team. You have the owner, stroke chairman. Then you have maybe a CEO or an MD. Then you have your admin staff. You have, of course, the football manager, stroke coach. Sometimes put a structure around that. You can have a head of player recruitment, working alongside the coach and the manager. And then, of course, you have the first team. And then you have the under 16, the under 18, reserve teams, ladies teams, etc., etc. Yep. Within your team structure, you will always have a few star players. Yeah. Some of these star players could be difficult to manage in times. So the manager of the team, the coach, has to use different skills, different approaches with different people to get the best out of them. Over the course of a league campaign, let's associate a league campaign to 12 months in business. In this example, you go through the rigors of playing.
it's a league campaign.
So you go through the rigors of traveling to different sites to play matches. We travel to clients to meet them. You meet with different individuals. You have to come up with different strategies to play against certain teams. You have to come up with certain strategies to win business with certain different customers. You have to deal with issues throughout the year. Maybe one of your players gets injured. Maybe one of your team are unwell. And I think you need to know when to change your team. So your star player, a bid comes in from a different football team. Do you let him go? Do you make a counter offer? How important is he in this case to the football team? How important is your star player to your business? Yeah, or your star players?
Star player.
And here's the other thing.
Star players.
You do. You have in most businesses, yeah, you'll have a team of people. You'll have everybody and all good football coaches will tell you this, that it's a team game. There's an analogy that's very, very big in football is nobody's bigger than the club. Yeah, so no star player is, no one's
That's one I've actually
hold
heard of,
you
but
to
I'm
ransom.
not sure I know what that.
Okay, what that means is you, in business, what that means is no key employee is worth more than the actual business.
Yeah,
to the actual business.
I can see the analogy, but what I don't know is what it means in football. Tell me football terms.
What it means in football is, okay, so you've got a star player who's attracting, who's playing really, really well, and another team is interested in purchasing him, the transfer will take place. Yeah. So you're playing.
You mean like Walker's Crisp purchased Gary Lineker when I last looked at football?
Yeah.
That
well,
sort of ish?
No, not really. It's bloody tough, isn't it? My goodness. This player all of a sudden can earn £300,000 a week if he goes to Spain. He's currently on £100,000 at your club. He comes to the owner, manager, coach, whoever he goes to, and he says, I've been offered this. I'm currently on this.
Yep.
I want parity. I want you to pay me the same, and I'll stay. He's essentially kind of holding you to ransom there, isn't he?
Yes.
Yep. You've got a wage structure in place. Nobody else in the business is earning more than £100,000. But let me finish this example. Nobody else earns more than £100,000.
Yeah.
What do you decide to do?
You decide to answer the door to the postman.
Sorry. How important is that person to your team? Is it worth upsetting everybody else? Because everybody else will find out that this person's been paid 3 times more to do the same thing. Yes, he might be your star player. But that essentially, in football terms, is what that means. Nobody is bigger than the club. The club will continue. If you sell your star player, he disappears. You might have a period of adjustment, until you bring in somebody else to cover the loss. But nobody's bigger than the club. In exactly the same way, nobody's bigger than your business. Okay. Yeah. My opinion, anyway.
Okay. So, in your humble football opinion,
yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a lot of things. So you talk about structure. I think you're talking about particular skills.
Yep.
So things like what it means to manage, what it means to upskill and coach.
Yep.
What it means to plan and control, those sort of things. What it means to lead, maybe. What it means to stand firm. These sorts of things.
Dealing with different people. Yep.
So let me ask you this.
Yep.
Do you think there is one right way to run a football club, and therefore, by implication, a right way to run a company? Is there one right way, or can you do it different ways?
You can do it many different ways.
So if I own, manage, coach or something in a football club, you're saying there are many appropriate ways to win the league?
Absolutely. You can play defensive football. You can play attacking football.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can be more defensively minded. Exactly the same example to be used in business.
Which is where I'm going to.
Yeah, exactly. You can be a defensive-minded owner, manager, director, or you can be on the front foot, always pressing, always going for it attacking-wise. Doesn't mean it's more successful than the defensive approach, but it's a different approach.
You take your choices.
Absolutely.
Okay. Second question. Do you think that, because I know that football, you're massively into your coaching and all that whatnot.
Absolutely.
Does that analogy help you run phase 3, do you think, with me? Do you think about
I think it
football
has.
when
I
you're
think
in
I think it has. I think it has in the past. I think if you recall, you and I have sat down on many occasions and I've used analogies from football, or I've used the example of Alex Ferguson. We talked about this in a recent vlog about the respect and fear thing.
Yes.
And I think it helps in a way because football has kind of transitioned more to being run as a business. You take different bits from your experience and from bits you picked up in, during your journey, during your life, and I think they can help you running your business. Absolutely.
Okay, then I'm allowed to have not red cards, but I'm allowed my red lines, and they can be my choices.
You can have your red lines.
You know what red lines are?
I do know what your red lines are. And
are they red cards?
No, but they have red lines in football as well. Not literally red lines, but
I'll call
a manager will have something that you just can't cross this line. If you cross this, you're out. You're gone.
And maybe one of those is your star player.
Could be. It could be.
That's more important than the club.
Absolutely. Good. Let us know what you think. Football, business, could be cricket, could be rugby, could be any team sport. Could be a non-team sport. I'm trying to think of how you could relate tennis to the bit different when it's a one-person sport.
I don't know. I'll bat that one back over to you.
No, that's poor. That was very poor. On that note, thank you for watching. See you next week.
Bye-bye.